Hi, this is Lily with PRIMED Network, also known as Primary Responders in Marine Emergent Disease. I'll be going over how to join and add observations to our marine wildlife health project on the iNaturalist iPhone app. Feel free to pause the video as you follow along so that you can work at your own pace. On the iPhone, there's a bottom navigation bar that can be used to navigate to different features on the app. Right now, I have Me selected, which is where you can view and edit all of the observations you've made. To join the project, you'll select More, which is where you can search for projects and guides. Once you're there, tap on Projects, and then search for Marine Wildlife Health. It's important to note that the project is not under the PRIMED network. So this is the project right here. It's the only one that should pop up under Marine Wildlife Health. After you select the project, all you need to do is tap Join, which is located at the top left of the page. If you join the project before you start making observations, you'll be given the option to add them to the project when you first upload. Otherwise, you're going to need to go back in and edit your observation later, which I'll show you how to do at the end of this video. To make an observation, select Observe on the bottom navigation bar. From there, you can tap on Camera if you want to make an observation in the field, or tap on Camera Roll to select pictures that you've already taken, which is what I'm going to do. I only have one picture of the organism I observed, but it's best to get a few pictures from different angles so that experts in the network can better identify any disease or abnormality. Once you're happy with your selection, you can review them by tapping on Show Selected at the bottom of the screen, or proceed to the next step by tapping on Add in the top right corner, which will take you to the details screen. First, we want to identify the organism, so we'll select What Did You See? You can type in the name of the organism in the search bar if you know what it is, but if you're unsure, that's totally okay because iNaturalist will bring up a list of suggestions for you to pick from. You can see the top suggestion is the sea star family, which is a perfectly fine choice if you aren't sure of the genus or species. You can type in common names like barnacle, sea star, or crab. I happen to know that this is an ochre sea star, so that's what I'm going to select. Next, we'll add the date, time, and location of the observation. Most of the time, iNaturalist will add these in for you automatically, but in some cases, you may need to edit them yourself. So you can click on the calendar icon, the date or the time, and it'll bring up the option to edit the date or the time. You can click on one or the other to edit them. Next, if you need to edit the location, tap on the location pin icon, which is located below the date and time, or you can tap on the location itself. It can be tricky to edit the location on the iPhone app because you need to manually zoom into the location from the map. If you have trouble with this, I would suggest switching over to a computer and submitting your observation on the website. From there, you can type in the name of a location instead of zooming into it. You don't need to worry about changing anything with geoprivacy or captive or cultivated organisms. None of the observations that you make for the Marine Wildlife Health Project should be of captive organisms. So, to add the observation to the project, you can tap on the briefcase icon or the word projects. A list of the projects that you've joined will show up, and you can add an observation to them by tapping the toggle button on the right. Once you do that, you'll be asked for any additional information about your observation that's specific to that project. For marine wildlife health, we'd like to know the health status and whether or not the organism is alive or dead. When you tap on health status, you'll select from the following options: unknown health, healthy, diseased, and non-disease issue. Unknown health is what you select if you cannot assess or determine the health of the organism. Maybe you don't know what disease looks like in a sponge or sea star, and that's okay. You can always go with unknown health. iNaturalist community members and PRIMED experts can make suggestions if they have a better idea. Second is the healthy option, where there's no sign of injury or disease that you can see. The third option is diseased, which you'll select when the organism appears unhealthy, potentially due to pathogen or illness. Finally is non-disease issue, which is when the organism looks unhealthy, but it is not likely due to a pathogen or illness. Maybe it was half-eaten, it died from unusual temperature events, or large waves beached the animal. I believe the ochre star was healthy, so that's what I'll select. After you've selected the health status, the next step is to specify whether the organism was alive or dead. Simply tap on status and select one or the other. Under Apparent Health, you have the option to type in a brief description of anything you want to include that is relevant to the health of the organism. This would be a great place to specify why you chose the health status you did. For example, if you chose non-disease issue for a beached animal, this is where you would specify that it was actually beached. Now that you've added it to the project, you're ready to go back and share your observation. Select Share at the bottom of the screen, which is highlighted in green, and your observation will upload onto iNaturalist. Finally, I'll show you how to add any previous observations to the project. Remember, all of your observations are under the Me tab, so you'll need to navigate to that page. If you tap on the observation that you want to add, like this purple shore crab, you'll be taken to a viewing screen, and at the top right corner, there's an option to edit. So you'll tap on that, and then you'll be taken back to the details page where you can add it to the project, in addition to editing the date, time, and location if you need to do that. So we'll select Project down at the bottom, and then use the toggle button on the right to toggle on the Marine Wildlife Health Project. So you can go in and add all of the health status data. I believe that the purple shore crab was healthy and alive. After you're done adding all of the health status data, you can go back to the details screen and tap Done in the top right corner. And after that, your observation will have been added to the Marine Wildlife Health Project. Thanks for watching the tutorial. We look forward to seeing your observations.